All right. Hey guys, welcome to the webinar, the live webinar. So just to be sure that everybody can hear me, if you could let me know in the Q&A, just say yeah, I can hear you. Let me know where you're attending live from. And I just want to make sure everybody is here ready to go, ready to get started with this. So cool. So who's excited to learn about this money making opportunity? What I consider, in my personal opinion, the biggest money making opportunity of 2023. Please, guys, let me know. Cool. Dayton, Ohio, London, England, Ireland. Hey, Stephen, what's up? Seattle, Woodbridge, New Jersey, Dallas. Hey, what's up? India, Brighton, United Kingdom, Miami, Michigan. Awesome. Cool. Philadelphia. Cool. All right, guys. So kind of hesitated to share this because it's just a hard subject to share because of everyone's preconceived notions. So that is my goal. My my goal here is to not only explain this whole thing, but my goal is to convince you to actually just try it. I don't really care if you take me up at the offer at the end. I honestly don't, because it's a very limited number of people I can even accept. My honest to God goal with this live webinar is to truly change people's lives, and I hope that is your goal for attending this webinar, and just forget about whatever preconceived notions you had going into this when you signed up, when you got the emails. Just please do whatever you can to just eliminate them from your brain, because I truly believe what is inside of this webinar, the content I'm going to teach you, can change your life, and it can change it literally like that. I promise you that it can. And this webinar, I've honestly spent 95% of my time on the slides you're about to see has been spent on content. The last 5% is, crap at the beginning, crap at the end. And of course, I'm not going to lie to you and say that there's no offer at the end of this. There is, because I truly believe in this opportunity. So what you see on the screen is what I believe to be the biggest opportunity of 2023. And I have to explain it in this way. I have to call it a local lead generation business. As lame as that sounds, I have to say it that way so that people can understand the concept of it immediately. However, I urge you to just not dismiss it, because what I'm about to share is 100% different from what you have ever heard. It has nothing to do with the typical nonsense SEO, rank and rent, wait 6 months before you make a profit, sell paper, whatever you call them, leads. Like, this has nothing to do with that at all. So please just give me whatever it is, 60-90 minutes of your time, and I promise you I will deliver value on this presentation. Like I said, 95% of my time on creating these slides, I've spent the last 2.5 days creating these slides for you. 95% of the time that I spent was spent on the content. There really aren't that many slides that are not delivering content. There's value in all of them. So thank you again for attending. It truly means a lot to me. Just as a reminder, it's a small group of people on here. I don't have a huge internet marketing following. It's literally 10% of my annual income. But the local lead generation business has become a significant part of my income in the last year and a half to 2 years. So if you followed me for any length of time, you might have been even, you might have even been a part of it, of a coaching program called Clients Tonight. And if you were, I truly thank you from the bottom of my heart. That was one of the best coaching programs I had ever put together, because it delivers part of what you're going to see tonight, but there's a lot of stuff that I did not teach in that are a part of what you're going to experience here. So the stuff that I taught in that was really geared. It was created for my email list. It was created for the make money online people. And to be honest, I took the wrong approach creating it. So and it's been a year or so since I've done it, and now this is the culmination of what has happened in between then and now. And I'm ready to take this to the next level. So that's what you're seeing here, and the opportunity at the end is, in my opinion, it's a once in a lifetime thing, and I will probably never, ever, ever, ever offer it again. So I call it the home advisor method. It's just, it's a, dude, I'm just not smart enough to come up with my own stuff, like my own, whatever you want to call them, I don't have big ideas. I don't, I'm smart enough to identify something that's happening and figure out a way that I can lazily make money from it. And that's what I am showing you today or tonight, or wherever you are in the world, how to do. That's it. So, the people, there's so many people on here that I haven't even really mentioned. There's so many countries: Malaysia, New Zealand, unbelievable. So guys, thank you so much for being here. And there's so many objections. I can already feel it in my mind that as I created these slides, I just knew it would happen. It's just how we were raised, quote unquote, as marketers. That local marketing, it has, a certain number of things that come along with it. You got to do this. What my promise is tonight is to show you that none of that is true. And I'm going to show you that I don't care what country you're from, what native language you speak, your sales skills, the amount of money in your bank account, your experience level online, offline, in work history, marketing, none of that matters if you just do what I'm going to tell you to do tonight. So please just give me, like I said, 60 to 90 minutes. Not charging for this webinar. People in the past have been on these webinars that I've done. I don't create sales webinars. I'm just not good at it. It's just not who I am. I suck at selling live in person. So the way that I feel comfortable is by delivering content, by over delivering content to where I feel comfortable offering something at the end that is related to what I just taught. And then that's what you are getting tonight. So just so you know, I don't want you wasting your time as much as I know that you don't want to waste mine. For whatever reason, you are on here and you've just crossed this off your list as you will never do it. Again, I just urge you to give it 60 to 90 minutes. I don't care if you let it play in the background while you're watching something on Netflix. Cool. Because I promise you you're going to hear something. You're going to hear something that is going to capture your attention. And that was literally my goal when I created this stuff. So without further ado, let's dive in. So what the heck is the home advisor method? I kind of coined this phrase, the home advisor method, because somebody made me, like I'm just an introvert at heart, just born that way, can't fix it, change it, don't want to at this point. Turned 40 years old this year, and just not at the point that I want to appeal to other people or appease, appease them. I just don't care. If you like me, you don't. Sorry if that offends you. But sorry, not really sorry. Uh, you're free to leave at any time. So, uh, long story short, I came across a guy named Justin Brook. A lot of you probably know him. He's the guy who founded adskills.com, was coined himself as the traffic guy that millionaires seek out, or I messed that up somehow, but it's along those lines. He created AdSkills to teach all different kinds of ways to advertise online. And he has a podcast called AdSkills Pro. Asked me to come on and teach this method because it just freaking works. It does, and then again, did not invent it, just smart enough to identify someone using it. And the someone was homeadvisor.com. If you haven't heard of them, go ahead and visit them. They are literally just a lead generation company. That's all they do. They spend a lot of money every month on Google ads and advertising elsewhere, get people to the site, capture their information about the type of job they want done at their house, and they sell it to local businesses that can provide that service. So that is where I came up with this. However, Home Advisor does a lot of stuff wrong. They are what they are. Not gonna hate on them, but I'm a marketer, been in this since 2010, and really cut my teeth in the email marketing space, and also affiliate marketing after that. And my passion is marketing psychology. It's the stuff that makes people tick, that makes people do the things they do online to get them from step A to step Z. Every single step, there is potential friction in those steps, and you've got to think about that stuff. And that's really what I brought to this strategy, and it's what I taught on this podcast. And that was kind of the first time I ever taught it to the public, because it was something that I had kind of stumbled into myself after being an affiliate and testing it in affiliate spaces. But back in like 2019 is when I discovered that it's worth a lot more money in the local area. So here are some obstacles you're going to probably already think about tonight, or you probably already have when somebody tells you about local marketing, local lead gen. Maybe you don't have the money to do this. You don't think you have money. You think you need money. You don't have the time. You think you need time, and you don't necessarily. If you do it the way I'm going to tell you to do it, you don't have the ability. Well, ability is a funny thing. Define ability. Ability is the definition of ability is you have the skills to do something, and that's why you're on this webinar. I'm literally giving you the ability. Confusion is something that we all face, and then I feel like we all kind of confuse ourselves on purpose. If you can understand that, it's kind of a self-belief thing where it makes ourselves feel better if we say like, oh, well, I don't really understand that, because then you don't have to, and you're giving yourself an out. So confusion is a weird thing, but it's there. Fear is a huge thing. We all fear failure, as much as we don't want to admit it. That's literally the biggest thing that holds us back from doing anything, because we are safe where we are, and our brain, as a human, it's just in our DNA to survive. And if we stay where we are, we're currently safe. Why would you go out and do something to risk your survival? That is at the basis of fear. That's really what it means. what you're looking at on the screen is an email that I received from a student of mine named Boris. This was back when I first launched Clients Tonight, which was a coaching program that taught some of this stuff, just a very minimal. I was still trying to figure out how the heck to teach this to people. And Boris reached out to me before he even joined. And he was a kid, lived in Russia. Obviously, English was not his native language. Had so many different fears and doubts. Doubted his ability. He didn't have hardly any money. He had a job, so he didn't have a lot of extra time. And you can expect confusion to exist just because of those things. So when I got the email you're looking at from him after he had gone through the training and he'd overcome the fear to actually just try it, he sent me this email. And I'll talk to you more about this later, because the context of the rest of this email doesn't make a lot of sense yet. But I wanted you to see this from somebody who I personally feel like just had everything against him to make this work, and he just freaking did it. So love you, Boris, if you're actually on here. I'm not sure. It's been a few months since I've talked to him, but I just, he agreed to let me share this with everybody here, because it truly is inspirational. And even out of the context of what we're talking about tonight, it's just proof that anybody who really truly wants to change their life can. If you do everything you've done to this point, you're going to get everything you've gotten to this point. If you want to get something different, something more, you've got to just do more different things. Like, it's weird to have to say that to people. It's true. So, all right, let's get in the process. Let me take a quick drink here. So the process itself, way easier than you think. And honestly, I don't care what you think. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Everybody's got their own preconceived notions of whatever you want to call it. I called it local lead gen business at the start because everybody kind of already has a feeling for what that is. But my goal in saying that was actually to like make your brain rethink this entire thing. At the end, I truly hope that you see the absolute potential here and the massive opportunity in 2023. We're literally only 4 days away from 2023. And I'm just so excited to be able to share this with. So process here is way easier than you think. And it boils down to 4 things. Select the niche, choose the location, set it up, and launch it. Literally, that is it. Each of these 4 things obviously have steps that are involved. Some have more steps than others. By the end of this presentation, you are going to be able to see how you can literally jumpstart and skip over all 4 of these steps, because that is truly the offer I have for you. But anyway, I'll talk about that later on. So that is the what. Let's talk about who. Who am I? My name is Dustin McGrory. I've been a lot of things in my life. Most importantly, father of 3 boys, from left to right: Gavin, Weston, Aiden. It's just really, my family is me. It's really what I wake up for every day. It's the reason I'm driven to do what I do. And they are all, each one of them, so differently crazy and unique. A good mix between me and my wife. My wife, Lorelai, is the love of my life. So these people are my people. Again, as an introvert, leaving the house is a weird thing, because this is just where I feel comfortable. But I felt that it was important to show you my passion and my inspiration and motivation to be able to teach this stuff, is to really ultimately leave them with everything that I figure out in life. So that is my motivation. Also, tech school dropout. So out of high school, thought I wanted to be like a, real hardcore computer nerd. Went to New Horizons, was a company. I think it actually, their website was still live a couple days ago when I yanked this logo off of there. But I thought I wanted to be a network administrator. Got certified in a couple different useless certifications. Um, Thought I was ready for the Microsoft test, failed that test 3 times, and said, "Screw this, I'm done. This is not for me. I don't like reading books about stuff I'm really not that interested in." So I dropped out. From there, in my mind, became a blue collar embarrassment. Started selling wood. My cousin owned a millwork company, so he needed somebody to, at that time, was inside sales. So I answered phones. I built doors, loaded trucks, unloaded trucks with the forklift, and took home in the first couple of years 31,000 a year. By the time, by about 2006, I was at 41,000 a year, and then moved the family down to Houston, where where I got another inside sales job, pretty much the same amount of money. Eventually moved up to outside sales, which was 45,000 a year. Never made more than that, and luckily, my new life began in 2010 when my dad, which you're looking at on the screen, offered me a partnership in his online business, which was in the gardening space. We teach people how to grow plants for profit in their backyard. No, I'm not talking about weed. I'm talking about just landscape plants. He'd been doing it since 1999 online, was making pretty good money, and wanted to teach me marketing. So forever grateful to him for seeing something in me that I just honestly never thought existed, and inspiring me to do better for myself, for my family. If it weren't for him, I don't know really honestly where I would be. Um, from that moment on, though, I just became addicted, I guess is the best word, to marketing. And before I even moved back to work with him, he had got me training and stuff that I could consume what before we moved back. And I built my first WordPress site that you're looking at. It was literally the actual WordPress site called Unofficial Disney World Guide. Literally built the whole site around this ClickBank product that sold for about $12 or 14, maybe, I don't know. But I made a sale. I don't freaking know how I did it, but I made a sale. Made it was, I don't know, 10, 11, 12, I don't know, something like that bucks. Just that right there was proof to me that, like, this stuff has merit. You can do this. You can make money with this marketing stuff without even really having any experience. It's just about connecting the dots, really, when it comes down to it. And that, from that moment on, my life was just forever changed. So 3 years later, again, 2010 is when my dad asked me to come back, be a partner. 3 years later, $1.4 million in sales online, and multi-millions since then. 4.2 million. This is just one business. I just didn't want to take the time to go into my Stripe accounts, multiple Stripe accounts. And the whole point of showing you this is that I kind of know what I'm talking about a little bit. So that literally is it. I'm not a bragger. As an introvert, like, just being on this webinar alone is stressful, like makes my body just sweat. Like, I just want you to know who you're dealing with here. I'm not a friggin' like slimy salesperson. I'm not on this thing to sell you. I'm truly on this to share what I know, because I feel like that is what I was put here on earth to do. That's just where I feel lit up the most in life is when I'm sharing the stuff that I've learned, but turning it into something that a big group of people can take and run with, not necessarily like, here's where I screwed up, figure it out on your own. It's more about like, okay, I screwed up, or yeah, I didn't screw up. I this worked. How can I take what worked and deliver it to the masses? So that's just what I like sharing. So while I'm tooting my own horn, so to speak, couple pictures here for you. So I told you earlier about Justin Brook, the guy who created Ad Skills. That's him right here, the big guy in the middle. He invited us all to a like a little event in Seattle. Went to like an axe throwing thing. So that's me and the group of guys and girl. That's his wife, actually. I guess it was all guys. I didn't even realize that. And this was that same event. Right here is Ed O'Keefe, founder of a couple different 8-figure a year supplement companies, tons of other smarter guys, tons of smart guys sitting at this table. Justin's right there. And then me, Ryan Dice, and a small group of people at the Wizard Academy in Austin. Just like, the only reason I'm showing you that is to let you know that I surround myself with people that are smarter than me so that I can be smarter eventually. It's kind of a lesson, but also proof that, you're not just listening to some idiot who knows how to work the slides. So again, I suck at this type of selling, but yeah, we're getting to the content, and that's really what I'm most excited about. So moral of the story is I've tried it all. Nothing beats what I have coined as the 24-hour salesman. And it just comes down to those 4 things. Select a niche, choose the location, set it up, and launch it. Forget about, so if you're even thinking about ranking and renting, waiting 6 months, please cross it off your list. I don't have that kind of freaking patience. Can never do it. Literally, if I sit down on my desk every day, it's got to be something. I've got to be working on something that is going to ring the cash register that day. I can't think about creating crap that's going to maybe make money in 6 months. I don't do any of that. So please eliminate that from your radar. Next, get pay per lead out of your mind. So remember what I said at the beginning, when I said local lead gen business, start your own legal, that's what you already know that. I can't come in saying some random stuff and hope that you stick on here for 60 or 90 minutes. I've got to lead with at least something you already understand, but show you how what I do is a million times different than that. So the 24-hour salesman focuses mostly on the people you are going to help. And I hope that you have the same feeling that I do, where I'm on this webinar literally tonight to help you. My hope is that you just take 24-hour salesman and you help hundreds of other local business owners, because there's not a better person in the world to help, in my opinion. Sure, affiliate marketing is great, info marketing great. Those guys are making tons of money. It's awesome. The local business owners, in my heart, truly, I believe that they are what makes the world go round. And if we can't help them, who can? As marketers, that is kind of my mission. That is the mission for 2023, and it's why you are on this webinar. But it all comes down to these 4 things. It's super simple. Select a niche, select the location, set it up, launch. And if you stick on here long enough, I'm going to tell you how you can skip over all of that. And you don't have to do any of it. You get to reap the benefits of it without even doing any of those 4 steps. So this process can be done anywhere in the world. So back in 2019 is when I really first took the home advisor method. And again, I was using it for affiliate stuff, but then I came I got connected with this guy in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. It was a connection from a connection. It was super weird, but we just became like really, 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 really good friends. We were so much alike. Never met the guy face to face. I don't even think that I saw him on a video chat. We just talked on the phone every day. Um, I was living in Dripping Springs, Texas, near Austin, and he's way up here in Canada. Like, literally, is a 40-hour drive, and I took an idea. He had an idea for a local business, and he had other local businesses in the construction, like home based area, like a home building type of stuff. He had an idea for a business, and it was about building custom garages. I guess, well, custom garages are a thing all over. People just sometimes they want to add a garage in their backyard or in their side yard. Their house didn't have one, so they hire a custom garage builder. That's the business he wanted to start, and I took his business from zero. He started in 2019 from zero to seven figures a year that year, just by what I'm teaching you tonight. And my point in that is that it doesn't matter where I lived. I could have lived in Colombia, or I could have lived in Africa, or in Australia. We actually had one of my other subscribers that came on as an employee for us, and he lived in Australia. So Ryan, if you're on here, what's up, man? Like, this can be done from anywhere. It can be done no matter your education level, experience level. I am here to mentor you, and that is literally what I'm offering here tonight. So process begin. This is where we get into the content. Begins with choosing the right niche. So a little bit, actually, before I do this, I didn't really plan on going into the selling right now, but just briefly, what I want you to see here, just full transparency. From here for the next, I don't even know, could be an hour, maybe a little bit less, I don't know. It's 1,000,000% content. There's zero selling, and I show you every single step of the process. You don't have to give me a penny. If you don't want to, then don't. Just listen to what I'm saying, follow along, and do what I tell you, and I promise you something good will come of it. So let's get in. First step, choosing the right niche. So here's the thing. The more demand, the easier it is to profit in spite of yourself. Like, that's what I always look for. Again, I'm lazy. So like, what is what I call it low hanging fruit? What is the easiest thing that I can get into where I could screw up a lot of stuff and probably still make money? That's what this is all about. The less competition, the quicker you can make a profit. And beyond that, it's just math. So later on, you're going to see a couple different spreadsheets. One of them is a calculator that I have used to determine the efficiency or efficacy of a certain niche at a certain location, and literally uncovers gold that all of the local marketers are just missing. So I'll talk more about that in a minute. So I wish this stupid bar would get off of here that Zoom is showing me, because it's messing up my flow here. But I'll explain this picture here in a second, and the story behind it. But it is relevant to what I talked about here. So the biggest thing I want to show you right now is $2.39 for a lead. So again, I'll tell you that story here in a little bit. The best niches for this system, they perform what I consider custom quotes. And a custom quote niche can be something like somebody wants a patio installed at their house. They want carpet installed inside their house. They want a fence installed, or maybe they want an in-ground pool installed. And um, this this picture right here of the pool is my backyard. It's actually happening right now. That picture was taken maybe not even a week and a half ago. So like I I share things that happen in my personal life because I feel like they're important learning points. And going through this process, this pool, I'm just gonna say it. I'm not trying to like brag or anything like that. This pool is $140,000 pool. So going through this process and really the pool builder itself going through their process has been a really big learning experience for me that I can apply to what I'm teaching you here tonight. And my point is these custom quote niches, these niches these are local business guys. So let's just, for example, this is a totally hypothetical situation. Let's just say this guy right here, maybe he used to work for a fence company, and he worked for them for 10, 15 years. And then he got to the point where every day he's still nailing up slats on fences but he knows just as much or more even than the business owner that he works for. So he decides to go out on his own. He goes out on his own and he's able to do what he did before. He can provide the same thing. Maybe he's making a little bit more money, but he's likely working more hours. And the biggest problem though that they have is they don't know marketing. They don't know how to generate leads. It's the part of the business that most small business owners just don't even think about. They assume that when they just create a business and they open up shop and they put an open sign on, that the phone's going to ring or emails are going to come in and calls are going to come in where they want quotes. It doesn't work that way though. And these are the people that we can help. And the biggest point I'm trying to make is that the custom quote unquote custom quote niches are the ones that where they're like, okay, well, I can come out and give you a custom quote because there's no other way for them to know like how much it's going to cost without coming out and measuring and all that stuff. But when the consumer, the homeowner hears the words custom quote, what they truly hear, I mean, the way it's phrased is free consultation. So sorry, I screwed that up. But people use the term or the phrase free consult. I'll come out and give you a free consultation. Like everybody knows that just means a sales pitch. Just, quit saying that because everybody knows that's what it is. And it's the biggest objection from a consumer standpoint, which is the biggest friction point. And again, remember when I said as an affiliate marketer, I had to identify friction points faster than anyone else because I had the least amount of money available to turn a profit because I'm just the affiliate. I'm buying the traffic, but I'm not getting the most of the sale. This is a huge friction point for local businesses that have to come out and provide a custom quote. A lot of people don't want to do that. They literally will wait years before they get a quote. But what's funny is that the number one thing that homeowners want to hear is the number one thing that the homeowners want to know is how much is it going to cost me to get this thing? Again, take my pool here, for example. I'm probably an exception because that wasn't my number one thing. I kind of already knew, but obviously, like you gotta get the number before you can sign a contract. So sure, we waited a couple months and had somebody done what I'm about to show you, they would have won my business over. So my point is that the small business niche, the local business owner, it's not that they aren't capable. It's just that they are unexperienced in the marketing side of things. They're just doing what everyone else is doing and just assuming because they're doing it, that's the right way to do it or the only way to do it. And that is just completely false. It's 1,000,000% the wrong way. And I'm about to show you why. So the best niches have high transaction amounts. Again, using those 4 examples, how much does it cost to build a patio? $1,000 to $5,000. How much it costs for our carpet? $1,750 to $5,500. How much it costs for a fence? About $3,200. How much does it cost for an in-ground pool? These numbers are just complete BS. I don't care what that date says. They ain't even close to right. So we signed a contract back in April or May, and it was 130 back then. Now it was 140. It's a big range, obviously an in-ground pool, well, every job's different. You can get a rectangle, a circle, a weird shape like we have. It's going to vary. What I'm trying to say is that all of these businesses can afford to pay you money for every single sale you refer. And I'm really just not even a sale. I'm talking about a lead at this point. But I don't want you to attribute this to pay per lead, because this isn't the furthest thing from pay per lead. Going back to my friend from Canada, hit the custom garages. He told me, and I asked him this before we even got started. Like, dude, what is the average profit? Now, I'm not talking about sales or revenue. What is the average profit per garage that you stand to make? And he said, man, it could be anywhere from 5,000 to 50,000, not 15, not 1 5. I'm talking about 50,000, 50,000, 50 grand, 5,000 to 50 grand per job in profit. These people can afford to pay you what you are worth as a marketer. That is a big, big, big requirement. And it's a big, big, big thing people in the local marketing niche are overlooking. They're going after everybody's going after all the same stuff. And I'm going to show you more about that later. So the best niches have the right amount of demand for you. And it's kind of a weird thing to say now that I'm saying it out loud, but it made sense when I typed it. You have a different amount of money that you want to make than I have. I've been doing this for a little bit of time. Maybe you've been doing it longer than me. Maybe your number's higher than mine. But the point is, everybody's got a different amount of money that they have set as a goal for themselves for maybe, let's say, 2023. So what's your goal? Is it this on the left, this house, Hyundai car, or is it this on the right? A little bit nicer house and a Lincoln on the right. It doesn't matter, really, honestly, what your goal is. The point is, you can achieve all of these goals, but you got to know what it is. So you put a number to it, literally put a number to it. I'm about to show you this. Measuring demand is as simple as going to homeadvisor.com. If you haven't been to homeadvisor.com, I would suggest going there if you are at all interested in this. This is their homepage. On the left, you can click this drop down. You can enter in a zip code. So I put in the zip code of San Antonio, and it shows you the top services, or what they call popular services, in that zip code. That answers the question, what is in demand? In San Antonio, these are in demand. Does Home Advisor have all of the potential services listed? No, absolutely not. I'm going to show you a few later on that they absolutely don't have, and they are like diamonds in the rough, and just tons and tons of money to be made there, because all the marketers are overlooking, even if they know about this, even if they've watched my podcast on ad skills about this, and they've seen this stuff, this alone is going to get you way more further ahead than the stuff I'm going to share even later. I'm sorry, no, this is going to get you further ahead than 99% of what local marketers know. Stuff I'm going to share later is stuff nobody is telling you about. So what you do from here, you pick something. So let's say that I picked, on this San Antonio slide, I picked 4 things, and I picked up at the top. If you go to Google Trends, it's trends.google.com. I picked carpet installation, landscape company, deck installation, fence installation. So you can see all these here. Landscaping, deck, fence somewhere. Where's fence? Right there. And I don't remember what the last one was. Landscape carpet. Carpet is going to be somewhere up top, probably. Yep, right there. So I picked 4 things. Put them into Google Trends. It's a free tool. You might have to have an account. I don't remember. But it gives you like a real wonky graph. This is a kind of the point of this is irrelevant. This stuff doesn't matter. I don't really care about trending up and down at this stage because Home Advisor already validated it for me. These are popular right now. My point of showing you Google Trends is this. Look at the bottom, and they literally tell you which of these four things are popular in all of these different regions. And this is not just not just Texas. I don't think I might have clicked Texas before I got here to this screen. Either way, Google Trends is full of incredible data that you can use for any kind of a local type business. You can see here the blue is carpet. El Paso is the biggest area for carpet in Texas, yeah, it must be. I must have clicked Texas to break it down by metro. And then green, this green color is fence. So you can see fence here in, where is that? That's like Dallas, Waco, Fort Worth, Dallas, Fort Worth, down here. And then you got red landscaping, like you don't see hardly any of that. Yellow deck, you don't see much of that at all. You could zoom in if you wanted to, but my point is that you can dive in. This data is free, guys. This is all free. You don't have to sign in on Home Advisor. I don't know if you have to sign in with Google. Maybe you do. It's free. Make up a free Gmail, whatever. My point is that the data is there. And I've done this work. This is the stuff I've done over the last going on 4 years now, going on 5 years now, actually. If you truly want to change your life, you've got to do things differently than you've done them. And that's where I focus my time, is looking at goals. 2023, I have a huge goal. My goal doesn't matter what my goal is compared to yours. It could be a million times different. The point is, your goal should be more than what you did last year. And if you want to get there, just use what I'm telling you to do here. That is it. So you pick the niches. You pick them based on the type of income stream you want to show up in your life. So here's an example. And I call it car niche selection. The vehicle on your screen, Lincoln Navigator. My wife just leased one of these back in the summer. The lease payment, 4 years, $1,559.87 a month. So knowing that, maybe, she calls it her dream. She actually, what's funny is that she'd hate me for saying this, but she had a vehicle before this that she called the quote unquote dream vehicle, had it for less than 9 months and literally wanted to just set it on fire. She loved it for the first 6 months until it just became a lemon and could not get rid of it fast enough. And now this has become her new dream vehicle. She loves it. Maybe your dream vehicle is way different. Maybe it's a Tesla. Maybe it's a Lamborghini. I don't care. Figure out what it is. Figure out the monthly payment. Just go to Google and type average lease payment for X, whatever the vehicle is. Figure out that payment. Then come back and then look at this. Figure out how to do it. It's as simple as that. One city, one niche. So this is one of those niches that I feel like zero people in the local marketing space talk about. And it's one of those quote unquote custom quote niches. So I'm going to let you take a look at that for a second. So plantation shutters are basically a replacement for, those cheap faux blinds or curtains. We got them in the new house that we're in now. Started out with a quote that was actually, we cheated kind of because we had a relative or my wife's cousin that had already done the hard work of getting 3 or 4 quotes. His first quote was 15 grand. Second quote was 10 grand. Third quote was 7 grand. So and he ended up going with the guy that did the 7 grand. And so he loved him. He did an awesome job. loves the product, so he referred them to us. We got the quote, or we got the same guy. They say the average cost is $38.58, but I'm telling you, man, that's a small house. If it's $38.58, my wife's cousin was 7. We were almost at 6, and his house is really actually similar to ours, just 2 stories. So maybe I don't know, but point is that these there's so many of these niches, guys. There's so many, and there's so many cities. And the biggest thing with the city, I'm going to talk about the restrictions or requirements of cities later on, but people overlook cities merely from one number, and it's population. They look at population and they're like, oh, well, that's a small city. I'm going to take my time to do this because, and remember what I said, that what I just said is important. It's the mindset and it's the thought process that occurs. If I'm going to quote unquote take the time to do this, I'm going to do it in a big city, because in their mind, they're thinking I'm going to wait 3 to 6 months at best before I see any kind of profit from this, because it's the quote unquote rank and rent model of lead gen. When I say rank and rent, for people who don't know, this is a tip. This is the normal local lead gen model that's taught. It's been taught for years to marketers. You build this site around a certain niche in a certain city, and you SEO the crap out of it to try and get it ranked in that city. And hopefully one day you get it ranked, and then hopefully you can find a local business owner who wants to rent it from you for a certain amount of money each month. That's the quote unquote rank and rent method. Sounds great. If you can get to that point. So when people think about that, the marketers that are learning this stuff, they think, if I'm going to take the time to go to this trouble building this thing and ranking it and getting in this up in the search engines and taking 3 to 6 months of my time and money to get there, I want to be in a city where I can make more money than $1,700. I don't blame them. That's exactly what I thought too, which is why I, beat my head against the wall until I figured out how to do this today, literally today. That is why you are on this webinar, is to teach it how you can set this up today. You can go from this goal and figure out a thing to create, to spit it out and generate $1,700 a month. One city, one niche. I'm telling you guys, there are thousands of cities and hundreds of niches, and the possibilities are endless. So the other part of this that very few people think about are the cities that have experienced recent growth in population. And there are many of them, many of them. So Leander, Texas is one of them. We used to live in Austin. Leander is a suburb of Austin, Northwest. Great city. Never really been there myself, but I knew the surrounding areas. It's near Lake Travis. Cool city. Just from 2020 to 2021, the city's population grew by 14%. 14%. That's a big jump. And the whole point of me saying that is, money is there to be made when there is a big jump in growth, because most marketers miss the growth. They might look at the number. They might look at this number and be like, whatever. But what they aren't seeing in the growth percentage is that a year ago, this number was 14% less, which means that there is a huge opportunity that is meant to be filled with you, meaning there's a void there. People haven't really been, approaching Leander with rank and rent deals or whatever you want to call it. Marketers are dismissing it. They're overlooking it merely because of the population number, and they aren't seeing this. And my point is that it's going to be really quick and really easy to not rank and rent is like a byproduct of what I'm going to share with you here. it's going to be a million times easier to do the stuff I'm going to tell you here in a little bit. But the rank and rent is just going to come with it as a byproduct. So not only can you make this amount of money, you can also rent that sucker out for that or more every month if you just want to be hands free and move on to more cities. There's no limit as to how many of these things you can do. So here's another example. So we talked about cars. Let's talk about homes. So this is a house. This is a real, this is not a stock photo. This is a house that's not more than 10 miles from me. I don't even know what it recently sold. It was, I don't even know. The number that I came up with, $57.84 a month. So how can we get to that? How can you create an income stream to pay for this? Like, can you imagine, look at this. Like, this is nicer than my house, like stamped concrete, like it's got to be 5-6 bedrooms, multiple office, game areas, pool, all like the whole 9 yards. $57.84 a month. It's a dream house that most people can never even imagine living in because they are on a fixed income. Luckily for you and me, we don't live by those standards. We don't have barriers to the amount of money we can make. So let's talk about pickleball. You know what pickleball is? So it's been look, y'all still with me? Y'all know pickleball. If you know pickleball, put something in the Q&A. Anybody heard of pickleball? Everybody play pickleball that's out there. Anyone in other countries besides the US play pickleball? I'm gonna sit here for a second and see what people say about pickleball in the comments here. Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. Very popular. Oh yeah. Mark lives in Middleton, Ohio, which I'm from Perry, Ohio, which is a suburb of Cleveland, known as the pickleball capital of the world. And it's a fact. I believe you, Mark. Discovered, yep. Yeah, like it's so weird. We played pickleball, very popular, Shelbyville, North Kentucky. Sorry. I remember playing pickleball as a kid in like, PE, and it was cool. It was like, a little bit less running than tennis. But for some freaking reason, like just took off. I just in the last couple of years, I remember we lived in Dripping Springs. There's a park that had a basketball court, and in the mornings there'd be older people there playing pickleball on the basketball court. They'd bring their own net, set it up. Anyway, what you're seeing here is a Google Trends search for pickleball term, search term pickleball, and I'm showing you this from 2004 to present, so you can see the amount of interest. That's what this graph is: interest over time. Pretty much a little like nothing. Maybe about 2012, 13 starts picking up a little bit. Picking up a little bit more about COVID. Obviously, dipped down and back up, and then around the beginning of 2021 just freaking took off, and then this year all the way up to the very top and then back down just because it's wintertime now. Pickleball is a massive opportunity that I promise you nobody has said anything about in local marketing because they don't know how to make money from it. And that is what I'm showing you here. Remember, $57.84 a month. This is $5,784 a month. Do you think that you could literally make that much money in the pickleball market in one city? That's what I'm showing you here. So look, this is the first thing. Look at the hockey stick curve of interest. Then look at the number one sub-region of the United States that has the most interest in pickleball. It's Utah. Don't know why, don't care why. Again, one city, one niche. Saratoga Springs, Utah. Population, you got it. A little bit less than 50 grand. But the growth is 16. I wish I could just make these work right. 16.89%. And you can turn that into $6,238, $6,238 a month. So the way that I arrive at these numbers, you're going to see it here in a little bit with my profit calculator. It has to do with the population growth. This is, I don't want to call it a proprietary formula because it's kind of not, but it is a common sense formula. And I'm not going to hide any of the formula because it has all of this stuff involved. I'm an analytics math person. Like I'm all about common sense. If I can't make sense of it with numbers, then I can't make sense of it in the real world. I can't sell it, quote unquote, sell it to people. However, pickleball court installation, the demand number is 22,200 searches a month. And full transparency, what people are typing in to hit this number, they're typing in pickleball court dimensions, not installation. Installation is, it's down in the couple thousand searches a month. Those are the people that have already like figured out, yes, I want a pickleball court. I don't want to do it myself. I want to find somebody to do it for me. That's what they are searching, is installation. 22,200 a month. Pickleball court dimensions is what they're searching. Those people are the people that want a pickleball court. They just want to know the price. They literally want to remember what I said. The number one thing people want to know with these custom quote niches is the price. And if you can give them that price without going to their freaking house and trying to hard sell them, or without getting them on the phone, I promise you that you will generate leads for less money than you ever imagined in the business that you help ever imagine in your life. Because I've seen it with my own eyes in multiple businesses. People don't want to talk to you. They don't want you coming into their house. They want to give you all the info and they want you to give them a price and then shut up. That's what they want. So why don't businesses just do that? That is literally what I'm teaching here. That is the secret behind how and why this works, but I'm doing it at scale and I'm automating it. And that's what I did for my buddy Chris with his garage business, and it worked there. And then I shared it with a couple other people. Obviously worked for them as well. So what I'm sharing is that model that you can take to anybody with zero resistance whatsoever. There's no selling at all. So going back to pickleball, Utah, Saratoga Springs, from population 2020 to this is the population 2021. They experienced a growth of almost 17% in 1 year. That's imagine, that's a lot of people to just move to a city in 1 year. Do you think that there are local marketers that are tapping into or trying to take over Saratoga Springs, Utah for pickleball court installation? I'm guessing probably not. That is what I'm sharing.
Get that.
So I don't know how to use my Siri watch, Apple Watch, taking that off. Nobody is going after this stuff, guys. Like pickleball court installation, and that's literally just one of hundreds of obscure niches that have that kind of demand, that kind of cost. And really what's most important to you, this is your profit number, guys. This is not your revenue, the amount of money that you can maybe make and then subtract other expenses. This is what I said, monthly profit, $6,238 a month, one city, one niche. That's it. That is the beauty of this. So after saying that, do you agree, like there are thousands and thousands and thousands of potential cities just in the United States alone and hundreds of different niches for all of us to get a piece of the local lead gen pie. That's really what I want you to expose you to tonight, is that, a couple of guys that said, like, yeah, pickleball is like, that's the we're live in the city, is the capital of the world, pickleball, and they know it. But there are other city, like, again, like I told you my story. I played pickleball PE class when I was a kid. Kind of forgot about it after that until I saw guys playing on the basketball court. I'm like, what the heck are they doing? And I'm like, oh, well, it looks like pickleball. Then a year later, moved to San Antonio. We go to this restaurant called Chicken and Pickle, thinking like, maybe they've got food that's like chicken and different types of chicken and pickle recipes. Show up there, and it's pretty much right next to a major university in San Antonio, and they have like 12 pickleball courts and then a restaurant, and then it's just like all college kids out there. We showed up at 11:30 in the morning. They're all drinking beer, playing pickleball. Like, pickleball is like, it's a weird takeover lately, but it's a thing, and it's not going away. So the point of that whole story is those little niches, and in just one city, with the potential to make over 6,000 a month, proves that we all have the ability to do this and take a piece of the local gen pie without doing hardly anything close to perfect. And it can be done really, really, really quick. So going back to the process, again, niche selection, number one. Location is what we're going to talk about next. And you got to set up your system and then launch it. So on to location. Why is location important? Too much competition delays making money. Like, it's just obvious. If you got, and this is really the main problem with local lead generation that is quote unquote sold to marketers. They tell you to get in, pick a city that has, and again, I'm quoting people here. I'm quoting them in many different courses that I've taken, because after realizing this, I'm like, I went out and started getting into these courses. And I'm like, maybe people are like teaching this, and I just was, too much of an idiot to learn it. They're all teaching the same thing. Pick a city where the population is between, and I'm quoting, 50,000 to 300,000. And I have heard that range in more than 3 different marketing courses that I've taken. 50,000 to 300,000. It has to do with competition. But you know what happens when that range, that population range, occurs in more than 1 or 2 or 3 courses? Everybody goes after the same stuff. So too much competition delays making money. Everybody's trying to do the same thing. How can we all achieve the same result? It's impossible. The next thing is, not enough demand limits the amount of money you can make. You don't want to go after a city that has a population of 1,000 people, because how many of them are going to be interested in pickleball, or something, or plantation shutters? It's a very small percentage. So there's got to be enough demand where, and really that's the wrong thing to say. It's not population in that sense. It's maybe people in Alaska don't play pickleball, or maybe people in Florida don't play pickleball because it's too freaking humid. The demand has to be there, or it limits the amount of money you can make. There's got to be a potential pool of people that are ideal prospects. And then last, cities with small populations limit the amount of money you can make. Like I just said, 1,000 people in a city, and there's only a certain amount of people that will ever become a prospect. You can't do anything with that. You can't interject yourself and make money in that equation. So here are some location secrets for you. Like I just said, 99% of local marketers are taught to choose cities with a population between 50,000 and 300,000. Think of it, pretend like I'm teaching you that tonight. So what would you do? You would go to Google and you would type in list of US cities that have a population more than 50,000, right? That's what you would do. So we're all going after the same stuff. Don't do that. Tell why. Instead, look for smaller cities with high recent growth rates that are somewhat close to 50,000. So remember Saratoga Springs, Utah, pickleball, I just explained it. Population of 44,164 and a growth rate of 16.89% from the previous year. No marketers are going after Saratoga Springs because it don't fall in 50,000 to 300,000. And I can tell you, I've got a whole spreadsheet of over 2,500 perfect cities that meet those requirements. The population, guys, I'll go after a population of 20,000, 30,000 any day of the week if ain't nobody there, and it's growing. Look at this. There's this city right here, and I'm going to tell you right here, this is Fulcher, Fulshear, Fulcher, Texas, just the west side of Houston. Almost a 50% growth rate in 1 year. Like that city, people are going to that city for a reason. It's gonna explode. And if you get in now, you will be one of the first, especially if you enter a niche that's so far outside of the typical quote unquote local lead gen niche areas. I'm telling you that this is the biggest opportunity of 2023, hands down, without a doubt. I've been telling friends of mine, if you guys are on here, Tim and Daryl, brothers that actually live near me here, love you guys. I've been telling them this for months. These local markets, this is the biggest opportunity that I've seen in years, and it is still the same. It's bigger in 2023 than it was in 2022. There are so many cities. You can see right here, Saratoga Springs, Utah, right there, 16%. Lander, like I talked about, went from 50, just over 50, to 57,000 in 1 year. So many, there's a ton of Texas ones in there. So data is everything in this business. This is why, like, I'm just drawn to it because of who I am. And that's why I created this calculator. So is what you're looking at is the 24-hour salesman profit calculator. So I put in plantation shutters, the demand. So demand is the search volume of that niche across the whole entire United States. And obviously I realize whole entire United States, if I'm only in one city, in one city in the United States, this kind of goes out the window. Like, duh, I got it. That's why this other part exists. 49,500 searches a month across the United States. The cost per click on Google is $3.85. You can kind of see how that goes hand in hand with the average cost, but I didn't even really recognize that until right now. I took this average cost from Google. I just went to Google and said, "Hey Google, what's the average cost of plantation shutters?" And there was a blog post that somebody put $38.58, but that's amazing. I didn't even notice that. Next, that's a niche. Next, you put your city. Leander, Texas, population 57,000. The growth 14%. So this is a big metric that is in the formula for the profit. So you enter the niche data, you enter the city data, and it spits out the monthly profit. Do you think 1,700 a month is good? Let me know in the comments, please. I want to make sure that I still got people's attention and I'm not just like losing people here. Is $1,700 a month a good monthly profit for one little local business? Of course, yes, definitely. Still not following the math. No problem. I understand not following the math because that was the point. I've deliberately made it to where you can't follow the math, because that's where people get lost. People get lost in the math. If I go back to this and you try and make sense of this, this is the part that nobody sees, because nobody knows how to turn this and this into that. That is literally what I'm teaching you here tonight. So thank you for saying that, though. Thank you for saying lost in them or still not following the math, because that tells me I'm on the right track. This is live for whoever said this is not live. Yes, this is live. I don't do replay crap and fake webinar stuff. So if you're on here and you're answering it to me. I'm sitting at my house right now. It's 6:17 at night, December 28th, 2022. So $1,700 a month, one city, one niche. Like once you figure this out, you realize like you're in a niche. If you can be the guy or the girl in this niche, you can take this to many different. This is one city, 1,700 a month. What would 1,700 a month do for you right now? Like I showed that pays for my wife's Lincoln payment every month and some, and a couple, and maybe our internet bill or whatever. Like that's a lot of money for a very simple task. It's literally clicking buttons on you're clicking, tapping your keyboard a few times and clicking the mouse. Just do what I tell you to do. And really, you don't even have to do that. If you stay on here to the end and take me up on the offer, you don't have to do any of what I'm showing. What I'm showing is for the people that just can't afford or just don't want to pay me the money, or don't see themselves as being a part of something bigger. No offense, no judgment on my part. I want to deliver value, and that is what I'm doing right now. I'm literally showing you everything that I do to set up one of these income streams. But if you stay until the end, you don't have to do any of it yourself. So going back to the process, we talked about the niche, talked about the location. Let's talk about the setup now, and then we'll get into the launch. So here's a question. How do you set up in a city nowhere near you, operate in a niche you're completely unfamiliar with, skip right past all the competition, and start profiting from day one? The answer is by using 24-hour salesman. And it has 3 automated components. Very simple, guys. Like people, I know you guys are on my list. You're smart. You're on my list. I don't market to get people on my list. You found me because of a piece of content I wrote, and the content I wrote was likely not for beginners. It was for people that know what they're talking about. So I know you know this stuff. It's a 3-part system, all automated. First part's website, second lead capture, third follow-up. So let's dive into each one of these. Again, like I said, it's a 4-step system. They each have their own steps in between, but I want to tell you all of this. I know we might go long. We're already almost an hour and a half in, but it's literally the content that I truly want to show everybody tonight. So the website, and this is it's the quote unquote 24-hour salesman system. I built this as a prototype. Be honest, I don't remember if it was last year or the year before. I feel like it was 2021. So it's going on 2 years now, 2 years old, that I built this prototype. And I built it for real estate agents because my wife has a very, very, one of her best friends is a real estate agent, as well as a lot of my friends and people that everybody knows real estate agents, right? So I wanted to be able to build something as a prototype that I can use to teach, but it can also benefit somebody as a byproduct. I can give it to someone and they can just use it. I don't want, my goal is not to just take money from everybody I can. My goal is to help people. And it's why I'm on this webinar. You haven't given me any money to be here. Hopefully you've gotten a little bit of value to this point. My goal is to give you even more value before the end. So I built this prototype for the 24-hour salesman for real estate agents, knowing what I know, real estate agents want seller leads, meaning they want people who are in the market to maybe sell their house eventually in the near future, right? So that's how real estate agents make money. They find people who want to sell their house, they list their house, and if it sells, the real estate agent makes money. So the real estate agent's main problem, the way I can help them as a marketer is to give them what's called seller leads, people that are looking to sell their house. So as a marketer, I dive into the psychology of the person who owns a house and may be interested in selling it in the future. Again, I default to what is the thing they want to know, and what is the friction involved? Why don't people just contact a realtor and say, this is what I want? So the thing they want to know is how much their house is worth. Maybe their house isn't worth enough to sell. Maybe it's worth a lot and they're idiots for not selling it yet. But the friction is they hate to being sold. People don't like being sold. If you can give somebody the value of their home, the true value, how much your house is worth, you can give them that value without being sold, you will get more seller leads than you ever dreamed possible as a real estate agent. And that is literally why I created this prototype. And it's a whole entire funnel. If you happen to be a real estate agent on the webinar tonight, please email me. I'll give you this whole funnel. It's a ClickFunnels funnel. I'll give it to you for free. No questions asked, nothing in return. I just hope that you use it. This is the website. People, it's a question, it's a survey. People land here and they assume that they're going to get the value of their house by just answering the questions. And there's a series of I don't even know anymore. It's been 2 years, 7, 8 questions that you have to answer about your house. And then it comes to the lead capture stage. The lead capture stage, I thought I had a picture in there, but I guess not. Sorry. They answer these questions. They get to the end. It's 7 or 8 questions, and then a pop-up occurs. It's an email capture. They have to enter their email. They enter their email, and they're taken to what I consider to be the part 2 of the survey. And you ask even more questions, and it takes them to another page, a couple more questions, and then finally they've answered all the questions you could ever ask. You have a lead that nobody can. There are 0 local marketers selling a lead that has this many data points as what I'm showing you here in the 24-hour salesman. Nobody sells a lead with that many data points. When I say data points, I'm talking about, is your home single family home or multifamily? How many bedrooms is it? How many bathrooms is it? How many floors is it? What year was it built? How many acres does it have? What type of roof does it have? And there's so many, each one of those questions is a data point. Each one of those data points is worth money to a lot of people, but the real estate agent needs all that to be able to appraise somebody's house accurately. That's why I'm capturing it. And people know that. They know that the real estate agent needs all that info. So they don't second guess that. And there's no friction. There's no friction because it's a simple question. It's a simple question. I try to do as many of them as multiple choice, and then ask for the email. Once you ask for the email, that's the first friction point. And they either do it or they don't. But I don't ask for it until the 7th or 8th question. They're already in. Each one of these questions they answer is called a micro commitment. They've in their brain, they've said, okay, I'm committing to this and I'm going to see it through. And it's bam, 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 bam. Now I have to type my email. They either do or they don't. 94% of them do. And I can tell you that. I'm going to show you proof because I've done this and I've spent thousands of dollars and I've generated thousands of leads doing this exact thing. 94% of them do after you've asked 8 questions. After that, you can ask as many as you want and they either fill it in or they don't, but you already got their email. So Moral of the story is this 24-hour salesman, the secret, quote unquote, secret sauce is the frictionless lead capture stage. It's what you're looking at now, but you're not seeing the whole thing. By the end of it, you got this. Each one of these is a data point that you see here. What you're looking at are the leads from my friend's garage business. And you see over 3,000 leads in there. All that data is worth money, and people give it up because of one reason. They want to know a number. They want to know a price. That's why I said the 24-hour salesman works best for quote unquote custom quote niches. These are the niches that no local lead gen companies are talking about. They don't want anything to do with them because they don't know how to help them. These companies aren't paying for the typical name and email address that lead gen companies are selling. That's not enough. You got to go out to their house most of the time to sell these things. And what I am doing here is changing that whole game. It literally is just changing the whole industry of the quote unquote custom quote business locally. You don't have to go out to anyone's house to sell them anything. Literally, the way that I discovered this was helping my friend, and we did it one step at a time. I got 8 data points and then gave it to him. Overnight, he had a bunch of different people interested in building garages that could have turned into 50 grand each. And the next part was he was backed up on creating quotes. So I said, well, what do you need for those quotes? And he's like, well, I need about 20 to 30 other data points before I can actually create a quote. So I created another survey for him for all of those data points. Somebody finished the first survey. I said, all right, thanks. Just so we can make sure we have everything we need to get you the full accurate quote, please answer the rest of the survey. It's 20, 30 questions. The whole thing was automated. He never even had to meet them face to face. He never even got on the phone with people. He sent them a PDF quote for a $45,000 to $50,000 job and sold them without ever talking to them. That's what this system is. So the third part is follow up. The people that just did the first survey, they just answered the first 8 to 9 questions, whatever it is. They got this email. It was kind of like, hey, thanks. You're almost done. Just so we can get the rest of your data. Click here so you can fill out the remaining, like I just told you, 20 to 30 data points. Then every week after that, they didn't do it. Are you still interested in building a garage? Literally sent this same email 7 months in a row, I believe, is what I queued it up in ActiveCampaign, and just set this thing on autopilot. And that this is really not even part of 24-hour salesman, but I feel like it's so easy to just offer this and nobody else is for local marketing. So why not? The difference is between using typical, rank and rent paper lead methods and using 24-hour salesman is that 24-hour salesman allows you to set up in a city nowhere near you, operate in a niche you're completely unfamiliar with, jump over all the competition and start profiting from day one. There's no waiting for a month, 2 months, 6 months before you rank in Google. And then you're like, hey, do you want to rent my website? Because it shows up pretty good in search engines and stuff. And then you have to explain like what that even means and why you would even be doing this and why are you ranking a website and you don't even have this business. It's a really weird model to begin with, the rank and rent thing, in my opinion, which is why I changed the game for myself. So I see it every day in local markets, people just fighting over search engine rankings, map packs, spots, expensive PPC ads, and you just don't have to. Here's a prime example. Again, in the garage building niche, look at this. Garage builders in Chicago, they're paying $8.74. These are not made up numbers. This came from SEMrush, the keyword research tool. People are paying, literally companies are paying $8.74 per click on an ad. I'm talking about you go to Google and you type in garage builder Chicago, And the ads that are there are for likely garage builders in Chicago. If somebody clicks that ad, that builder gets charged $8.74 a click, because it's insane. So I promised I'd tell you this story later on. This is the story from this image. This is my friend Chris's business, garage company in Nova Scotia. This was before, this was really not even that far after we got started. So I started it, you can see, sometime in May. The data here is towards the end of June, I believe. So it's about a month. It's about, I think it's from June 1st to June 30th. But the date I have my mouse hovered over was June 12th, I guess. On that day, I generated 21 leads at $2.39 per lead. $2.39 per lead. And these people are paying $8.74 a click. So, like, would you rather pay $8.74 a click and hope some of those clicks turn into leads, or pay $2.39 per lead and completely obliterate the competition? It just makes zero sense. Like, I want to go back to this because there's more of a story here. And Chris just didn't know what he didn't know. You know, he's a guy from a totally different industry, had no background in what we do as marketers. Really, really smart business guy, construction guy, real estate guy, investor as well, but just didn't know. I had to really convince him to spend $5 a day. This was on $5 a day, guys. $5 a day, which insane. So I got a question. Are you guys getting excited about this opportunity? Like, we haven't even covered the best part, but I want to hear if you guys are excited. Let me know, please. Please let me know. Yes, yes, hell yes. Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. Excited to hear more. Yep, excited. So those are Facebook ads. Yes, sir. Facebook ads this was from 2019, or I believe, or 20. Yes, sounds amazing. Sure, great. Yes. All right, cool, cool. So we're going to get into the good part here. So going back to the process, we talked about niche, selecting a niche, selecting a location, setting it up. Last is the launch. So this is where the real money is made. Good news is, right now, today, you can launch your very own 24-hour salesman local lead gen business and start making money on day one today. That is not a claim. Is not implied or inferred. It's guaranteed, because I've done it and I can show you how to do it. So forget about expensive search advertising. Forget about really, really, really slow methods like rank and rent. Just do this instead. I call it bank and rent. Get it? You know, rank and rent, bank. Yeah, cool. It's the best of both worlds. So don't need expensive ad costs. Don't need to wait months to see a profit. It's a combination of them both. Plus, what you're building here is yours. Literally your property. It's your legal property. You can call it a brand. You could call it your website. You can call it your property, whatever you want to call it. You can make money from it starting today, and you can rent it out if and whenever you want. If you'd rather just rent it after you've made as much money as you want to make, and you're just like, would you rather just rent this from me and then I don't have to log in here each day and make sure it's making money? That's your choice. There's really three ways that you can make money from the 24-hour salesman property. Here is I don't have a lot of, before I get there, I said there's three ways that you can make money from this. The most common way, what most people like, because they are like me, if you're on my list, you're like me, you're either introverted, you want the easiest, shortest way, the least expensive way. That's why you're on my list. That's what I do. It's probably how you found me, because I taught something that way. That is this. That is this way. That is what you do with this system. it cuts out all of the crap. It's all of the objections that local marketing has that deterred me myself for years. Again, I got started back in 2010 with my dad, and at that time I learned all the marketing stuff. And I at the same time, I'm in looking at opportunities like, okay, where else can we do, where else can we make some money together? Me and my dad. Local marketing was always there, but it was always like, dude, you got to build a site and rank it and let it sit there for a little bit. And then you can either do pay per lead, you can make, 10, 15 bucks a lead, or you can rent it for a couple $100 a month. I'm like, oh my God, that's horrible. Nobody wants to do that. Sure. I'm just not that kind of person. I'm not the kind of person that's, like I said, sit down and dedicate a day's worth of work or more to building something that I might make money from, half a year from now. That is the culmination of what you are seeing tonight. Everything that I learned about local marketing that I hated, and I overcame every single one of those objections, because me and you are the same person. So to show you, I don't have a lot of testimonials. Now I'm gonna be the first to admit that is literally the reason why I'm sharing this. And like I said at the beginning, I don't care if you take me up on an offer at the end of this and just let me just help you do the whole thing, or learn how to do the whole thing yourself on this webinar. Like, hopefully so far, I've shared a lot of it. We're not done yet, but if you just do it yourself, my goal is to just get a ton of testimonials so that I can expand the 24-hour salesman to where I want it to be. And I'll share that here at the end, but here is one. So this is not really a testimonial. This is just proof. This is proof that these people are out there, guys. And it's like so easy, like just a random conversation with somebody that I had met and texted me. Like, hey dude, I remember you were in marketing. You'd be interested in helping us get some leads. And so that's when I started asking questions, like, I asked him a few questions ahead of this, but I'm like, any idea what your ad costs are on Facebook per lead? And he said $30 a lead. And what he said here is he literally haven't gotten one blank in 2 months, and that blank is, the basically a lead to a customer. So what he's saying was that those $30 leads weren't even converting, all unqualified prospects mostly. So me being me, just straight up front with them. At this point, I was charging $2,500 a month, regardless of ad spend. They pay for ad spend. Just told them, like, hey, I just want to do a little bit of research just to make sure that the $2,500 a month is a good investment for you, so that it's not coming back on me right away. And I can't see when it was, but within a minute or two, he said $2,500 is fine. $2,500 a month is fine. Like this right, the reason I'm showing this is just for this right here, because I feel like there's so many people out there, marketers out there, that don't believe that there are business owners local. This is a small business owner in operating in a very small niche. They don't believe that there are people out there that are willing to pay something like this. And this was just one way that this is honestly one of the hardest ways to structure the deal. Just a flat $2,500 a month. This is not really my favorite way to do this, but this is the screenshot I have, so I wanted to show it. I don't like doctor crap and try and change it to fit my presentation. It is what it is. My point of showing this, like I said, is that there are people out there that are willing to pay $2,500 a month. And I didn't even have to, there was no selling. Never talked to him on the phone. I never met him in person. It was an email conversation that I had with him, because I don't even know how he found me, honestly, anymore. I don't know how he found me, but we got a conversation going, and then I gave him my number to text me because I was going to be away from my desk for email. And that right away just went straight to $2,500 a month. So Here's another example. Again, very few testimonials, but I want to show you the ones I have. So Stuart from the UK, within a couple of days of starting, signed up not one, but two 24-hour salesman clients. And again, these are the 2,500 a month people. It's going back to this. This is what I was taught. But again, what I'm teaching now is a million times easier than just what Stuart did. Even you don't forget 2,500 a month. That's not even a thing. I showed you that to prove that there are people out there, local small business owners, willing to pay that much money because they are so desperate for lead generation. They don't know how to do it. It's not what they specialize in. They really are seeking people like us. And I need more people like me to do this. I need you. That's why you are here. It's why I did this private webinar with just my list, because I know that the people on my list are the most qualified, and it's a jumpstart for me. I'm lazy. It's less work for me to take somebody from your caliber, where you are right now, to where you need to be to do this. So another question, isn't it time you cash in on what can only be described as the single greatest opportunity in digital age to create your own fortune? With a 24-hour salesman, anyone, anywhere in the world can have their own local lead gen business. So I told you at the beginning, showed you Boris's part of his email. So I want to explain the next part. I'll let you read. Hopefully you can read this. I'll read it here in a second. So again, Boris was a young kid from Russia. I don't know his age. What I know is he didn't have a lot of money. He was very, very, very hesitant to even join the program. And this was my very first Clients Tonight program a number of years ago. I believe it was 2020. And it was Clients Tonight was one payment. Well, actually, Boris paid $2,500. He paid $2,500 to be in that program. And he was very, very hesitant, obviously. Going back to the objections at the very beginning, he didn't have money. He didn't have a lot of money. Sorry. He had money, but just not a lot of money. Didn't have a lot of extra time. He had a full-time job, or he was in between jobs and just doing what he could to scrap together enough to live. He had the ability, but he didn't see it. He didn't feel like he had the ability, because in his mind, he didn't look like the average marketer. He was from Russia. He didn't speak English, and you can see in this email, English is not his native language. But look at what he did. Look at that. This is the real email thread. He sold this person, this local business owner, on the 24-hour salesman. The guy said, "Yes, I'm in. Let's try." Because that's all that I asked. That's all that I told them to do. Like, just get them to try. If they see it in motion, if they see it happening, and they see leads being generated every day, it's their lifeline. The lifeblood of a business is leads. They're not going to tell you to turn it off. They're just not, because you're asking a reasonable amount of money. And this one email just changed his life. And I'm so glad that he shared this with me and let me share this with you. Because I don't have a big email list in general. So that means I don't put a lot of people into these programs. So to have Boris and Stuart, to have both, just two guys, and like, honestly, do this, actually do it. Like, to get people to do stuff, and just in and of itself is insane. But they both did it. They went through the whole thing and they did it. And it worked. And I'm glad to be able to share both of these things with you. So the truth is, there are thousands of locations. Like I showed all those cities. I've got over 2,500 cities that are in what I call cities with massive growth, that are I hate saying untapped, but they don't fall in the 50,000 to 300,000 range that all the other marketers are targeting. This is what I call the low hanging fruit. These are the cities that are up and coming, and they're right on the cusp of that 50,000. And you can get in now so easy and quick that there's nobody going to be able to knock you off at that point. On top of that, there are hundreds of different niches that you can generate these leads for with little to no effort and make tons of money. Just tons and tons of niches. So I've got this spreadsheet over here that I'm looking at, and I'm going to show you. Actually, I don't even know if I can show you this because Zoom has me all messed up. So I'm just going to read some of them. The top of the list, this is not in any kind of order. This is just how I found them. And at the top of the list is custom aquariums. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically having a custom fish tank built in your house. And I've had fish tanks since I was a kid. I love saltwater fish. Just wish I could live underwater. And I want one built in my house. So I went somewhere and talked to them. You know what they told me? Okay, we'll come out to your house. It's a $99 charge for a consultation. I'm like, oh my God, what? You're going to charge me $99 to tell me how much it's going to cost? Like, how backwards is that anyway? At that point, I'm like, here's your sign, man. Like, that's a huge market. And then these are niches. Again, nobody is talking about custom aquariums, plantation shutters, epoxy garage floors, retractable awnings, artificial turf installation, shed movers, tennis court installation, putting green installation, batting cage installation, zip line installation, and the list goes on and on. I've got let's see what it is, over 80 on this spreadsheet. And these are just like my top niches that I skipped over a lot because I gave a lot so far, and I don't want to, break the bank with all of them, but there are so many, thousands of cities, hundreds of niches, so much opportunity. Best of all, like, you've seen firsthand just a small portion of the niches available to achieve amazing success. And just, again, starting out, guys, like, this is so easy. It's so easy to do. You go back and remember Boris, a young kid from Russia, doesn't speak English, very small amount of money, not a lot of time on his hands, felt like he was the last person in the world that was capable of doing this, but he did it. And the biggest thing is he wanted to. And now it's your turn. So the reason I'm telling you that is because I know, being on my email list, I know you're as smart as these people. You're smart as these students I've shown you, and capable as those students. And the biggest thing is you deserve it. And you just have to take charge and grab it. That's it. But I know there are concerns. And then that's why literally everybody that joined is still on this webinar, which is awesome, which tells me that the content that I delivered was at least captivating enough to keep people to this point. So thank you so much. But I know that there are concerns. I'm a better marketer than that to think that there aren't. So let's talk about concerns. With the little amount of time we have left, we're already almost 2 hours into this. So the biggest thing from me, coming honestly from my perspective, should we share this with anyone and in any price, or keep it to ourselves? And I know for a fact that I can't just not. It's literally what I was put here on this earth to do, is to share the wealth, so to speak, and share the knowledge, because I cannot do this on my own. I can't. There are too many opportunities right now, and I would hate to see other people take advantage of them. They're outside of this circle, outside of my circle. Again, I'm very introverted, and I'm very protective of of what I have, and you're on my list, and you're here because of me, and I appreciate that, and I sincerely thank you for that, and I want to help you, and I really want you to help me. I am truly, honestly, looking for people who can do what I just taught, because it's only going to take the 24-hour salesman brand to another level. So naturally, the approach, the tools, all this, the secrets and resources I've shared to this point and developed that have allowed these students to thrive, it's just not available to everyone. I don't want it to be available to everyone because, like I just said, it can't. If I just posted it all out there for everybody, it would be abused and misused, and I don't want that to happen. And I'm not doing this for fun or charity. I do love sharing what I know and really get a lot out of being on this with everybody. But you know what? To be honest, it's a one-sided conversation right now. Sure, I've got a Q&A box and people give me half-ass answers and responses, and thank you to everybody that have said something. And you know, I've seen a lot of past customers. Thank you for being here. But a lot of different people have said it. I'm going to say it too. Entrepreneurs are the loneliest people in the world. They just are, and I am. You know, not a lot of people understand what we do and get what we do. Even close people in my family don't get it. Truly, really want to build this brand with people like me, people who I know that I can trust to represent the brand the way I want to. That's why I got you here. So, as you can imagine, when you have something this powerful, it doesn't come without a significant investment. And I'm confident saying that because we can agree it's not what it costs you, it's what it can give you in exchange for your investment. The reality is, like, if I had a crystal ball and we were looking at 6 months into the future from now, and you had 50 grand in your bank account that you didn't have today because of what I'm sharing on here tonight, you would give me $10,000 in order to get that 50 grand. Why? I mean, nobody wouldn't. It makes perfect sense. So it's not about the money, because I can literally guarantee you have no risk if you say yes to what I have available for a limited time today. I always offer money back guarantees. There's no risk. If you give me money, you're going to get it back if you felt like it wasn't the perfect thing for you. That's not the problem. So if you let me, I will tell you the problem. It's the biggest problem that any kind of a marketer ever has trying to sell anything. And it comes down to one word: belief. It's making you believe that you can do it. You know, you either don't believe me, sounds too good to be true. You don't feel like the testimonials are real, or they align with you, or it's just something that you can do. You don't feel like everything that I told you so far aligns with your experience, your current situation, and you don't believe it can happen. That is literally the hardest thing that I have to overcome. And I feel like I've overcome. I've figured out a way to do it. So if you'll stick with me here for a few more minutes, I'll share that with you. So I'm losing my voice. I have to keep drinking. Like I said, nobody believes in themselves. It's I feel like in this day and age, I don't know if it's I hate blaming things, but I feel like society has just trained us to put our trust and faith in a higher power, so to speak. And it's harder and harder to feel like you can do what you really want to do, to envision a dream, to see something in the future and achieve that yourself. It's a hard thing to comprehend. But I've taught people how to do it and they did it. And you feel like it's not you. So the real question is, can you do it? That's what you're thinking right now. Personally, I believe you can. And like I said, I'm going to put my own money on the line to prove it. And I've already said this a couple different times. The why, my why, is to help you experience truly for the first time freedom. The same freedom I have, the same freedom me and my marketing buddies have. I meet with them every Friday. Like me and my buddies get to meet at this little Mexican joint and then have margaritas and Mexican food every single Friday, middle of the day. Place is empty from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. It's just us because we can, like that is the dream for me. I get to go hang out with them, talk about this stuff every day or every Friday. And what I want is more people like them. I want to be able to do that more often with people like you. And that's why I have you on here today. So here's the deal. In order to do that, I want to personally invite you to a brand new exclusive 24-hour salesman founders club. And this is a new deal for me. It's something that I've hesitated for literally 2 years to launch, because I needed to be able to devote the time to it. I needed to be able to devote the time to you so that I could give you everything that you need to succeed, so that I could take the objections away from you and put them on my plate so that you are literally 100% set up to succeed out of the gate. And I hope that the way I'm presenting this from here on out shows that. So let's get the investment out of the way, because I know already this is what everyone is worried about. And to be honest, it's the very last thing I'm worried about. So I'm just going to say it. 2 installments in $997, spaced 30 days apart, away from each other. That's it. So after saying that, I want you to listen to this. I get it. I know, I know the amount of money I'm asking for is it's not insignificant. I get it. Totally get it. The way that I'm looking at this, like I just said, the money for me is nothing. The money that I'm asking for is really more for you. I feel like I have to ask for this amount of money so that the value and the importance of this transaction weighs on you in the future, so that this is a major decision that you're making to change your life. And right now is a turning point, a tipping point, I guess is the best way to put it, in your life. What you do in the next 5 to 10 minutes could literally change your life forever. And I truly hope that it does. So let me explain what this comes with. My buddy Chris, him hauled around for a number of weeks. I don't even know. Like, we were on the phone every day, I feel like, for 2-3 weeks, maybe even more than that. I don't remember. And I positioned it the same way I positioned this offer. And then I just pushed him like, dude, you know what? We've been talking about this for 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks. And I pushed him hard. I mean, like, it's $5 a day to advertise. Let me pay for it. What is there to lose on your part? And it's the same offer I'm making you. I'm literally taking the risk away from you, because I'm going to give you your money back if, in 30 days, you just say, like, you know what, this isn't for me. I can't do this. This isn't what I thought it would be, or this isn't, I'm not a good fit, whatever it is. That's where I learned how to remove the objection, is talking to him. I'm like, I felt it in his voice. I didn't see it because I never even met him, but I felt him, questioning. So with him on the phone, I'm like, you know what, man, just let me do it. Because I know 1,000,000% I can do it myself. And that is literally what I'm offering here. And you're going to see that here in a second. Thank God he actually did it. So here is a text exchange from Chris. You can read the whole thing if you want. Basically, the moral of the story is I asked him for a testimonial because I knew eventually I'd get around to putting this together. Here we are 3 years later, or maybe even more, and I am. So he's like, of course, dude, no sweat. We probably did about 250K. That's 250,000. And a bunch of other prospects still in his financing streams, what he called it, meaning that the moral story is that this turned into 7 figures within, it was less than a year. We started in May. Before the end of the year, he had $1 million in sales. Super effective strategy. Let me know if you need anything else, testimonials, whatever. Absolutely. And I said, by the way, that's freaking insane. $2,600 in ad spend to generate $250,000 in business. And he said, absolutely ridiculous, actually. So what I'm asking is for you to belong, be part of what I'm calling the Founders Club. And it's going to be a very small group of people. And I can guarantee you that these spots are going to go fast. The amount of people on here don't matter on this call right now. They're going to go fast because I know what this is worth and what I'm going to sell these spots for here in about 6 weeks. So if you sign up tonight, you'll also get the single greatest advantage available to local lead gen business owners when you sign up today during this exclusive limited time offer. Bonus number 1, fastest path to profits. So 24-hour salesman founders club training is 8 modules released over 8 weeks. We are starting at the beginning of the year. So let's see. New Year's Day is Sunday. We will start Monday. Sorry, we will not start Monday. That is my middle son's birthday. So January 2nd. We will start Tuesday, January 3rd. I'll get you there as fast as you want to. In fact, you don't even have to go. You don't even have to log in to the members area. So let me explain. The fastest path to profits, the Founders Club training is going to be 8 weeks of training starting don't hold me to January 3rd because it might not be January 3rd. It's going to be the beginning of the year, that first week. One of those days, Monday through Friday, the first week of January. Starting that week, going to be 8 weeks, 8 modules released once a week over 8 weeks. That training is going to be there, not necessarily for you, because as you're going to see in a second, you don't have to. Like I said here, this presentation is really only going to be seen by you and by your eyes, people on my list tonight. And not even 100% sure if I'm going to do a replay. It just depends on whether or not this sells out, I guess is the best way to put it. The point of this Founders Club is to allow me to help 50 people. So what you're getting here is a ridiculous offer to just let me hand you an income stream. That is what I'm giving you here. At the same time, I'm going to be building this training, and it couldn't be explained best, I guess, as a franchise. I don't know that I'm going to sell it that way, but this training is going to be positioned as training to them when I launch it to the public later on. And this is not a BS marketing ploy. This is 100% truth. I'm taking 50 people tonight, 50 people. The first 50 people. If this goes over 50 people before I can end this, I'm probably gonna have to refund because I truly cannot take on more than 50 myself. I've only got so much time on my hands. I've already recruited my wife to help me do some of the stuff that I just can't deal with myself. 50 is the most. So the bonuses and the stuff, the training, this is not a coaching program. You're going to see that here in a second. What you are being shown are assets that are going to be sold as a franchise type business later on. My goal with these 50 people, if you are one of the 50 that join Founders Club tonight, my goal is to get your testimonial. 100% transparency, that is my goal. I've told you exactly how to do this on your own tonight. You can, everything I told you is exactly what I do on my own. I told you how to do it. What I'm offering for you here right now for the first 50 people is to just have me do it for you and hand you the income stream so I can get your testimonial. Because without a testimonial, it's going to be hard for me to sell it for 10 grand. And I'm going to. So bonus number 1, 8 weeks of training. To be honest, you don't even need to log in and look at the training because I'm going to do it for you. Bonus 2, 2 months of coaching with me. I've created this thing. I've been doing it. I've been in it for 3, almost 4 years now. Anything you need, hit me up. I'm going to help you. That's the whole point of this. So reminder, bonus number 1, the training, fastest path to profits. Bonus 2, coaching for me. Next, the done for you business. As a founder tonight, again, the first 50 people, this is not a BS thing. I'm 100% serious by 50. If I sell more than 50 tonight, I'm going to refund them. And you will not have access to anything. You are going to get the complete done for you 24-hour salesman business, the whole thing, the entire website, the entire lead capture system, as well as a follow-up funnel. And the most important, the biggest benefit is niche exclusive rights and area exclusive rights for that business. So let me explain this, because this is some legal jargon that I hate having to say, but it needs to be said this way so people truly understand it. For the first 50 people, I am going to build you your own 24-hour salesman business in a very specific niche in one specific city of the United States. And you guessed it, it's going to be from my list of cities and niches. Because why? Because I need to show other people this works. I want these, you are benefiting from my need to prove this concept to the masses. Because this is early stage 0 right now. I've done the alpha stage. I've got a couple of people that did it. I got Boris from Russia. He was able to do it. Stuart from UK, got just sending emails. They were able to do it. Tonight, I need 50 people like you that I can just do the whole freaking thing for you, hand it to you. It's yours forever. You have the rights. You have the 24-hour salesman brand, and you legally will have the niche exclusive rights and the area exclusive rights for that business. Meaning, let's say I give you pickleball, Saratoga Springs, Utah. No other 24-hour salesman company can be in that area with that business. That's what area exclusive means. Again, it's the first 50 people. And maybe it won't be tonight. Maybe it'll be tomorrow. Maybe it'll be the next day. Maybe it's already happened. I don't know. I don't have any of that crap open. I can't tell. What matters the most to me is being able to help people like you. Because if I help you and you prove, or you basically give me the testimonial, I can sell this concept for 10 grand. That's what I'm going to do. So that's bonus 3. Bonus number 1, again, Fast path to the profits, 8 weeks of coaching modules. You got me for a coach. You get the whole done for you business, area exclusive rights, niche exclusive rights to that city. Bonus 4 is the whole entire knowledge suite. You get access to my list of untapped local niches, list of fastest growing underserved cities in the US, my personal 24-hour salesman profit calculator, and my secret list of niches that I know are going to explode in 2023. So think pickleball, but think stuff you've never heard of or thought of before. Those are going to be the businesses that I give to the 50 people. Because why? I want to prove this works the easiest possible way so I can get the testimonial and I can sell it for $10,000 because it's worth that. That's what I should be charging you right now, but I'm not. So if you're wondering why would he do this? That is why. I've said it a number of times. 50, that's why I'm limiting it to 50, because my time is valuable and I really honestly don't be working 8 hours a day. I'm gotten lazy and gotten comfortable doing 4 or 5 hours a day. Taking on 50 people, it's going to stretch me. I'm not going to, I promise you, not going to take on more than 50. I'm going to refund you. If you join and it's after 50, I'm going to refund you and you won't get access to any of this. So reminder, bonus 1, fastest path to profits. Bonus 2, personal coaching for me for 8 weeks. Bonus 3, the whole entire business just completely done for you. Bonus 4, the whole entire knowledge suite, the whole full access, all of my lists, all of my data, stuff I've been collecting and just going through and weeding down to what I'm left with over the last 3 years. What I'm left with, this stuff is worth tons and tons of money. This is the biggest, absolute biggest bonus number 5 that I have ever given in my entire marketing career since 2010. Done for you clients. This is the biggest objection that I've had from anybody who took clients tonight, anybody that I've told this strategy to, or explained it to, or even sold a little ebook on to teach them the beginnings of. Everybody said it's too hard to quote unquote land clients. For 50 people that join tonight, that objection is no longer a thing. As a 24-hour salesman, founder in the Founders Club, I bring the client to you and or clients. If I give you a niche, if I pick a niche that is so quote unquote untapped and I pick a city for you and it just takes off and you come back and say, hey, Dustin, what about this city too? Can I just copy it over? And I'm like, oh, let me check. Yeah, nobody's there. So yes, you can go and do that. And I already have somebody who's interested as a client. They see it and they approach me. I'm bringing them to you. This is the biggest, absolute biggest benefit. This really should what I should be charging for, because it is the biggest objection every single person has in this business. How do I get a client? I don't want to be on the phone. I don't know what to email anybody. And when I email people, they call it spam or they say mean things back to me. I don't want to send them anything in the mail because that's expensive. I don't want to walk into their business because I'm an introvert and I sweat severely and stutter. Ask me how I know. That is what I am doing for bonus 5, is bringing the client to you. And you know how I can do that? Because I've been in this for so long that I know how to structure the site to where others are going to find it and they're going to say, hey, how can you do that for me? Because you remember Ryan, you remember the guy that I'm not even sure I said his name, but it was a screenshot of a text message where I said, yeah, my fee's 2,500 a month, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, 2,500 a month's fine. He found me from something else and just said, how can I pay you to do this? That's what I'm saying. People come to me all the time for that. So doing that for you is easy. But it's really, I know it's a big, big, big objection. And it's literally the best bonus that I could ever offer in this situation to you. So here's the guarantee. If you are one of the first 50 people when you join 24-hour Salesman Founders Club today, you're not buying a course. You're not enrolling in a coaching program, and it's not even joining an elite mastermind group. When you join the 24-hour Salesman Founders Club today, you're becoming my partner, literally. And I say that as heartfelt as I possibly can. You are going to be my partner in business. And I truly feel like I truly hope that you feel that way too, because I want to be surrounded by more people that do what we do. I want to be able to share what I know with you, and you go and learn things and share them with me. That's where we can all benefit. I treat my partners like family, and I would never leave my family in the dust. Of course, you always are going to have a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee with me. It's just what I do with everything I ever sell online. I don't care what the problem is. Doesn't matter what it is. I don't care. I'm going to give you your money back. Even if you don't like the shirt I was wearing in one of the videos, I don't care. But the biggest thing is you're going to have my word. Promise to do everything in my power to uphold everything I've presented to you today and more. If at any time in the first 30 days feel like I've let the side down, just let me know. I'm gonna return 100% of your investment. No questions asked. Here is the catch, the warning, and I've already said it a couple of times. There are only 50 spots available in the Founders Club. This is not a BS made up thing. Once they are filled, enrollment will be closed literally forever. Not ever opening this up. If I ever open this up again, email me and tell me I'm the biggest fraud on the face of the planet. Because I promise you, I'm never opening the Founders Club up again. It is going to be 50 people. We will likely meet together in person at somewhere locally to me, because I don't want to travel anywhere. You can come if you want. It's not going to be a requirement. But it's going to be 50 people, and it's going to be a Founders Club, and we are going to enjoy what we have together. It is literally going to be a club. It's going to feel like a mastermind, but you're not paying for admission. You're not, I've been in masterminds where I had to pay 10,000 a year, 20,000 a year, 30,000 a year, every year to be a part, just to go into the room. I want that same environment without you having to keep paying me. And I can't even believe that I can't believe that I'm okay with giving it away for the amount of money I am tonight, but it is what it is. And it's for the first 50 people. So I promise, once it's closed forever. Cross my heart, hope to die, stick a needle in my eye. This is not a marketing ploy. After the first 50 spots are filled, I will begin selling area exclusive rights for the 24-hour salesman for $9,997. That is a promise. I've already said it. I'm going to do it. Meaning, after these first 50 spots are filled, you will not get access to me. I will not build you the site yourself for me. I'm sorry. I will not build the site for you. I will not bring clients to you. I will give you the right to build a 24-hour salesman site in one city. That is it. So going back to everything that I've said, compared to 10,000 and you doing it yourself, you only get to do one city. I'm not building it for you. Tonight, you have the opportunity to get in for 8 weeks of training, personal coaching from me, the whole entire business done for you, the website, the lead capture, the follow-up system, the whole suite of knowledge tools and spreadsheets, everything, full access. And I will bring the client to you, meaning it's basically guaranteed income. I'm for 50 people tonight, 50 people that can see this opportunity for what it truly is. They are going to have the ability to change their life. And no, you are not limited. The first 50, you are not limited to just one. Meaning, you don't need to pay multiple times to have one city, one niche. We can talk more about that later, but it's going to be based on what the other 50 have. If there's already somebody in a city with that niche, I can't give you the same thing, but I can give you the same niche in another city and vice versa. So you pay once, you can do this in multiple cities over and over. But you know what? Compare that to what I just said. When I sell this to the public, when I offer this to the public for $10,000, they get one city, period. They want more, they need to buy more. That is literally what it's worth. And I know that, but I gotta be able to get the proof of concept from at least 50 people, which is why I'm doing this tonight. And I know for a fact it will work. And I'm so confident in the fact that it'll work that I'm just willing to do it for you. So that I can just hand it to you. You don't have to figure it out yourself. It's just going to work for you. So sign up now. 50 spots available. I have no clue how many have already been taken. Don't even have access to that data, but there are still a bunch of people on here live, and I'm going to start moving over to questions because I'm out of content. We are at almost 2.5 hours. I'm going to try and get through some questions here. I kind of combined chat and questions, so it's going to be challenging. So I'm going to try and go back as far as I can, but let me see. So I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning and just make sure. Let's see. So first question, do you mean that this works better than what you share in other methods, if that's the biggest opportunity for 2023? So good question. I know everybody is on this, they're on my list. The opportunities I've shared to this point, I have shared this partially. Like I said, I've just not shared this business model in its entirety until tonight. Going forward in 2023, when I say biggest opportunity, it also means easiest to enter, least amount of experience, least amount of money required. So there's a lot of different variables that are at play, and a lot of different roadblocks, less friction, I guess is the best way to put it. Next question. I know that results vary from person to person. How long do you think an average person following this could achieve? Like if you actually started this tonight, you could make money with it tonight. I mean, we're getting down to 8 o'clock at night, but if you, I showed you where I did this for my buddy Chris. I launched it at 5 or 6 o'clock at night. That night I had 5 leads for him, and those leads were at $3-4 a piece. For a $5,000 to a $50,000 per job profit, $4 to $5 leads. Like there's no convincing to be done. That's why I'm so confident I can just bring clients to people with this. So let's see what else we got. Oh, cool. John said he used to work for New Horizons selling training plans. I'm awesome. Oh, my slides are cut off on the right side. Sorry, Mark. I don't know why they would be cut off. Hopefully not everybody. Pickleball rocks for us old people. I should have been looking at these. I just had so much stuff to get through. Trying to get through some questions. Next question, does this model lend itself to auto slash semi-automation operation? 100%, Robert. So when I explained the system for the setup, all three of those components, the website, the lead capture, the follow-up, 100% of that is automated, the whole thing. Like I set this up for my friend and literally did not touch it for the rest of the year, and it turned into a 7-figure a year business. So are those Facebook ads? Yeah, answer that. Yeah, the screenshot was from Facebook, but you can do this with more than just Facebook. There's so many different options anymore. Next question, joined a bit late. Can you really show high level at the end? I probably did, because that was almost an hour ago now that the question was asked, but yeah, what you're getting here is pretty much a done for you local lead gen business. And it's only the first 50 people. I had a couple hundred people on this to begin with, so I don't know I have no clue how many have already taken, but any of them that if I sell 51, that last person's going to be refunded. I 1,000,000% promise you, I have to. I really didn't even want to do 50. I knew that I needed to get 50 testimonials, and I knew that I could deliver on that myself. Next question, will we get a recording of this meeting? That would be super helpful. I honestly don't know yet. I know for a fact that I am not putting this recording on YouTube like I normally do, because I'm just not willing to share this with a lot of people. I'm not. Everything I said on here is 100% true. My main goal was to teach this. Hopefully somebody that can't afford to be in the Founders Club can just go out and use it and do it, and then bring me a testimonial anyway. But the goal was to build the Founders Club. I want 50 people that I know I can help and get those testimonials so that I can build the brand. Every person that I can help, it's a win-win situation. I help you, you're helping me build the 24-hour salesman brand so that I can sell these area exclusive deals. Next question, how is the offer calculated based on percent of profit margin? So the way that you sell it to the business owner is, the way that I like to do it is just on it's basically an estimated lead cost amount. And like the way that I did it with my buddy was just like, hey, I'm gonna shoot for this number of leads, and I know that I can get them for this amount and deliver them at that amount. So like you agree on an amount. You don't have to do it that way, but you don't have to worry about any of that. So that's what being in the Founders Club is. The benefit is you let me handle that. I bring you the client. I'm literally handing you this income stream, because I can't just do all 50 of these myself and then create 50 testimonials and show them to people and sell them for 10 grand. I need you. I need 50 people from 50 different walks of life, 50 different locations, 50 different backgrounds and experiences, so that I can prove that this works. Next question, I'm living in Nigeria. Will this work for me? Absolutely. I showed you Boris from Russia. So there's no reason in the world why it wouldn't. So are we selling a built site for each company and ads running? If you get in tonight, the first 50, you're not selling anything. I am. I just can't iterate it enough. That is what it is. I'm giving the whole thing to you, and I will find the client. If you really want to know what I'm doing, that is, I'm every local business owner on the face of the planet wants leads. It's what they want. Every business owner. Remember back to the beginning, somewhere in the beginning of or maybe the middle, where I talked about the guy with the fence company who used to work for somebody as a fence installer for 15 years, and he went out on his own because he knew he could make his own money and do the same thing. What he didn't know is he didn't know how to generate leads. They all just need leads. So that's what you go after them with. That's where the pay per lead model works, but it's an annoying business because some days you can do, they think that that's all you're good at, and it really has nothing to do with that. The secret of 24-hour salesman is not pay per lead, it's not rank and rent, it's the amount of data you are capturing from people that no one else on the face of the planet in the marketing world is capturing. When somebody sells a lead, typically at the most it's 5 or 6 data points based on the type of job. Minimum of what the data that I get, data points are minimum of 8 data points for 24-hour salesman leads. That's the difference here. Next question, what is primary traffic source for leads if it's not Google or Facebook? So you can do a number of different things. And again, in the Founders Club, if you don't have to have the Facebook account, the Google account, or any of that. I will do it. That is the benefit. That is literally the offer tonight. The offer is just letting me do it for you for a very selfish reason. I want the testimonial. Pure and simple. Nothing. It's 100% transparency. I'm doing this because I want your testimonial, which means in order to get your testimonial, I've got to get you something that works. And it's 1,000,000% on me, not you. Let's see. Brian asked about the numbers adding up. Cover that real quick. So numbers as in, I'm guessing you mean like the calculator part. Really the answer is the numbers don't add up. There is nothing to add up. So like, as one of the 50 people, if you're in and you're in one of the 50 spots, you are guaranteed to get a proven city and a proven niche, period. The numbers will be my responsibility, meaning I'm not going to hand it over to you until you've gotten a result that I believe I can get a good testimonial from, right? So that's it. Let's see. This is not the same as clients tonight. No. So I talked about clients tonight because I know people are on here that took clients tonight. Clients tonight was the quote unquote alpha version of trying to teach the same thing. The problem with clients tonight is the problems that I've listed, the objections I've put in this presentation. How do I get clients? I've emailed and I don't want to call, and that was the biggest thing was clients, but they also didn't know how to advertise and get the leads and set up the site and all that. 50 people in the Founders Club, it's all done for you, period. I don't care if your Google account is banned, your Facebook account is banned. You can do this because it's going to run through me. If you don't trust me, or if you want to set up another one, whatever, that's up to you. But I'm not going to want to hand this over to you until I'm confident that when you get it, the testimonial that I would receive is what I want. Because again, the testimonial is what literally the reason I'm doing this, because it's selfish. I know for a fact the 24-hour salesman system can be sold area exclusively for 10 grand or more. It's worth that, every penny of it. So that is my selfish reasons. Let's see. This looks like a tremendous model, and you're free to join. Is understandable out of my range for the time being. So good luck to all who can join. 2023, expect to be groundbreaking income wise. So take care for now. Awesome, Robert. Thank you for being on here. Thank you for staying for so long. hopefully you can take something from this that I've taught and make some money from it. But next question, does this require a ClickFunnels subscription? I mean, for me, so the answer is no. What the really the way that I would prefer to build this is WordPress for you, because of the byproducts that you can do with WordPress that will get you other results that I haven't even talked about tonight. So no, doesn't require ClickFunnels. Can you do it in ClickFunnels? Absolutely. Next question, the whole set of tools and methods, are those applicable outside of the US, I assume, correct? 100%. I'm guessing, Andre, you're asking like the niches and stuff like that. Are those niches applicable outside the US? Could you do the same thing for businesses like in the UK? Yes. So remember Stuart was one of the guys that said he signed up 2 people or 3 people in a matter of a couple of days. He was in the UK and he did the same thing. So absolutely. Some of the niches obviously might be geographically based, but a lot of them aren't. Next question, Alvin, still in the middle of another training that I'm running. Going to need to stop that to make this happen, right? I mean, no, hopefully. Like we're still running that business as well. I've got that blog going. I'm working on it still every day, but I've always got many irons in the fire. So the answer to me is no, but that's going to be your call, Alvin. What are the other expenses / monthly besides the investment today to make this a success? You're going to want just the typical stuff like domain, web host, autoresponder, and really, yeah, autoresponder. And then there's about $20 to $30 a month worth of tools that I use that makes up the 24-hour salesman lead capture follow-up suite. So nothing like earth shattering, but next question, if you're building this biz for me, how quickly will this be done and generating income? Great question. So I didn't really know how to answer that in here. It's why it's not in here, because I again, just being honest, I don't have a date to tell you. 50 people is a lot of people. It's going to be me with a combination of my wife, who's going to be helping me do some of the more menial, tasks that I don't need to do, where there's just not a lot of marketing consideration and to think about. But my goal is to get everybody, the 50 people, to get something to them within 2 weeks, no more than 2 weeks. I'm hoping within a week. It's going to depend on, it's really going to depend on how much more I have to do to fill these 50 spots, to be honest. Like if these are already all gone, then I can start tomorrow, like I don't have to to worry about getting the rest of the people signed up. So again, I have no idea how many people are in. Get in get in while you can, and hopefully, I just had no way to limit the 50 number. I didn't even have time to set up the shopping cart inventory thing. So yeah, hopefully, if you get in, you're still in before the 50 spot, and we can work it out from there. Let's see what else. I think I've answered this a little bit, Brandon, but difference between this and clients tonight, I talked about that already. What's the income structure for not charging 2,500? So what I like to charge is like 2,500 is great, but you're leaving a lot of money on the table in certain niches. So that's where it comes in as like, it's hard to explain, because I don't want to throw anybody off by thinking like you're going to have to go out and sell these people. That's where like the question really doesn't matter to you. If you get in But if you're one of these 50 people, it doesn't matter because I'm doing all of that hard work. Like if you truly want to know the answer, then I'll tell you the answer is based on a per lead cost, but the cost is not my cost. The cost is not what I showed, the Facebook $3, $4, $5 lead cost. It has nothing to do with that. It's the cost that everyone else is paying right now. And that's where my profit calculator comes in. And that's what I'm going to show during those 8 weeks. So that, obviously I'm going to be giving you the business, but I'm also want to record this stuff so that when I have the testimonials, I can sell these area exclusive deals. The profit calculator shows where the actual lead cost is compared to what people are paying right now, so that you can be sure that you, first of all, aren't charging just a ridiculous amount. But the main thing is I hate charging per lead. I don't do it. I always do a monthly deal, because then there's no like, looking at little tiny thare like, oh, well, that lead was bad. I want my money back on that one lead. That's not what they're paying you for. You are a resource for them. It's not something they can just go down the street and hire. You can't just put up an ad and say, I want them somebody who can generate a bunch of leads for me, and then you can hire that person. Nobody goes to school for that. This is a specialized business or specialized talent. So what we do is not something they can compare. But the way that I position the offer is what really matters the most. And that's what, in Clients Tonight, that's what I failed to teach, is selling the expertise. And that's why this bonus number 5 is so huge, because you don't need to do that. Let's see. So confused about the done for you client thing. How many clients are you getting for us? I'm assuming you're not going to keep getting clients for us indefinitely. Correct. Like I said already, you're guaranteed one whole business in one niche, one city, 100% exclusivity forever, no ongoing fees. That's the other thing, is when I offer this for 10 grand, that's not just a forever fee. That is a in the franchise business, it's the franchise fee, and then there are yearly dues in franchises. So I'm going to end up doing that with the 24-hour salesman franchise, or the 24-hour salesman area exclusive deals. You got to pay to play. Right now, if you're in one of these 50 spots, I'm telling you, like, this is literally the best marketing offer I have ever made in my life. And I probably will never make again, because the reason I'm doing it is so I can get those testimonials and sell these things to where I don't need to do these 50 spots ever again, something similar. So to answer the question though, you're guaranteed one, but like I said earlier, at some point after I made this offer, if you bring something else to me and you say, well, what about this city too? Can I just copy it over? Is anyone in that city? And I'll look at my list of 50 people and be like, nope, nobody's in there with that niche. Go ahead. So, and again, I have lead flow myself from local businesses that are coming to me every day and asking either, how can I get more leads? Or they're asking, do you have somebody that can help me? I have that. I've had that for the last couple of years. Ever since that I was on Justin's podcast, it's just people they approach me because they see that type of thing, and I'm out there, and I'm out in a couple other places. So if I have somebody that I can send to you, I will, but I can't guarantee more than one. So yeah, again, with ClickFunnels, it's definitely not required. I would recommend at least some kind of web host. I like Cloudways, and then I would set up WordPress. And I answered the other questions about other expenses. Frank says, looking forward to getting this going. Awesome. Great to have you, Frank. So good question. The exclusive rights doesn't make sense. What's stopping anyone from just building in any city, even if you mark it off as taken? What's stopping them is they can go out and do it, but they don't have me, and they don't have the 24-hour salesman brand. I'm telling you that this brand, this is a brand that you are going to start seeing on a lot of local business websites from here until hopefully after I die. This is something that I'm dead set on, is something I was put here on this earth to do, and I'm going to do it from now until the day I die. The brand is worth money, like any brand is. So you can do it however you want to do it. You can do it the way you feel like is right. You can follow everything I taught. Hopefully you do. And I can't stop you from doing it the way you're going to do it. But I can't offer you the same thing I'm offering somebody else if they've already got that city, that niche. That's where the area exclusive comes in. So if you want me, you want the system in a certain niche, a certain city, that you got to get in before the 50 spots are taken. So a couple of people saying they can't get to the site. It's just join.24hoursalesman.com. If you can't get in, so you can send me an email. Just send me an email, I guess, is the best way to do it, and let me know. That way it's time stamped, and I'll have to figure out, if 50 spots end up getting taken tonight, where you fall into that mix. But next question, do I need to get on the phone? Never. No. Don't. No. Zero phones. I hate getting on the phone. Promise you, you don't have to get on the phone. Another question, how do you get traffic to the site? Paid ads. So yes, that paid ads is the way that you make money today. The byproduct of paid ads, if you the way that I'm going to set up the site outside of that is your site will end up ranking. So the reason I call it bank and rent is that you can bank first. You can start making money today using the 24-hour salesman system, and the site builds up authority during that time and then will rank, and you can rent it after that or at the same time if you can find somebody who's okay with it. All right, so how are guaranteeing clients and income? So I can never guarantee income. It's just not something I can legally do. Guaranteeing clients is easy because I keep working until I get you a client. That is on me. I can definitely, absolutely guarantee that. How much of a daily investment would be necessary, both minimum and recommended? If you want to do paid ads, like I did with my buddy Chris, $5 a day, he ended up bumping it to about $10 a day, 2 weeks in. I think the highest he ever got was $25 a day. And so what's $25 a day times 30? It's 850, 700, 850 at the most. And you should be making well over double that from a client. All right, so there's a bunch of questions, and I'm losing my voice. We're pushing 3 hours here, so I'm trying to make sure that I've talked about them already, some of them. So I'm skipping past some of them. If there's something I missed and you want, you can feel free to email me, but I can promise you that I'm probably not going to get to it early tomorrow. And this link, everybody that's on this call has this link, and they're going to probably save it. There's still, a good 60 some people on here through 3 hours later. I don't have any idea how many spots are taken, but I will absolutely answer your question. I just cannot promise when. Again, my voice is going away. I'm trying to hit the big stuff here, and people are asking kind of the same stuff over and over, but trying to find ones that are different. So investments, yeah, I did that already. Facebook blocks. I've never had a Facebook block for a local account. Not something I would ever worry about. Larry, Larry, good to have you. Larry said he's in one of my other trainings. We'll continue that and finish that, but this is too good to pass up. Paid to be in masterminds, and that just that aspect of this is totally worth the cost. A serious no-brainer. Can't wait. You better not refund me. Larry, thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. So Brian's asking, how do we make the 1,700 or the 6,000 or whatever it is selling individual leads? You're not selling individual leads, Brian. You're selling you. You are literally selling. Actually, to be honest, if you were one of these first 50, you're not selling anything. I am. I'm literally handing you an income stream. So let me take a drink real quick. You're not, there's no selling involved on your part. That's the beauty of this offer. And I knew I would have a hard time conveying just how good this actually is, because nobody's going to believe it, but you're just going to have to trust me, I guess, and trust the fact that if it comes down to it, you don't know me or you just don't trust me, I'm using Stripe as my processor. You can file a dispute with them if you want to later on, if you feel like you've asked for a refund and I didn't give it to you. They will. I've never won a dispute, unfortunately, but that's just the way it works in the online world. So if you want to use that as your safe barrier, or whatever you want to call it, safety net. The truth is, this is a once in a lifetime offer that I will never make again. Yeah, you guys, you don't reach out to the business owner. What I'm selling, what I'm giving you is everything. I've done the whole thing. You're literally taking the income stream and just managing it. Again, with the recording, I don't know yet about the recording. It's going to depend on how many of these I've sold. I just have no idea. All right. I'm getting down to the bare minimum here. Let's see. So guarantee is for 30 days, but it might take you longer than 30 days to build a business. So no, I'm not, it will not take me more than 30 days. If it does, my guarantee will be extended 30 days from the day I hand it to you. And I have this on recording to verify that. So I don't do business that way. I've had people come back to me a year later and ask for a refund on something that I offered a 30-day guarantee on, and I gave it to them. I want people to be happy. Don't want to take their money if they didn't get any kind of value. This is an interesting question, especially since I've been watching Shark Tank lately, and Mr. Wonderful always talks about some kind of I don't even know what the hell he called it, like some kind of a clause, like the individual clause. If somebody dies, somebody gets hit by a bus, what happens? You know, do you have a team in place for this? The answer is you will get your money back, just from the way that I have things set up. If I don't deliver on it, your money will be returned to you. So yeah, Brian, hey, Brian's asking about the real estate funnel. If you send me an email, can I send you that real estate seller leads funnel, absolutely, 1,000,000%. I would love to get it into the hands of somebody that could use it. I've just built that whole thing for literally for this, and it failed to just tell other people about it, people that could use it. So absolutely, please email me though, because once these Zoom comments or Q&A things go away, I won't have it. So Brian, please email me, and I absolutely would give it to you. No questions asked. How will you choose who gets what niche and where? Good question. So what the way it's gonna, in my mind at least, the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to try and do it in the order people that the way that people joined. First person who joined gets first dibs. I'm gonna try and position it that way. I know it's going to be difficult because I only operate by email, so it's going to be a delay. But I'm going to try and do it that way and see what happens. Truth is, of 50 spots, you're gonna get really good ones either way. I have over 100, over 150 or more niches, and then again 2,500 cities. So all right, still I'm just trying to look. There's still a bunch of comments, but man, they're all kind of the same. I just don't want to keep. We're at 3 hours now, and I'm about to lose my voice entirely. I just don't ever talk this much like in a week. So this is basically last call, guys. I'm at the end. Questions are kind of all been to the same. Sorry if I skipped over something. Again, feel free to email me. I just have no clue how many people are on. I'm sorry, how many people have joined, but there are still 60 people on this webinar. So, and if there's 60 people on here, I know that you all 60 are very, very interested. I can promise you that there are definitely not 50 spots left at this point. So the last words of wisdom here are, what you're doing is putting your trust in me at this point. It's a risk-free thing. It's a 30-day guarantee. Like I said, somebody asked, what if I don't get you the business before 30 days? First of all, that's not going to happen. And even if it did, I would give you 30 days after the fact to figure out, this isn't working for me, Dustin, give me my money back, So at this point, I feel like I've answered a lot of the questions. Some of them overlapped, some of them I probably missed. There's so many, but there's over 140 questions. Thank you guys so much for being here, for interacting, for taking 3 hours out of your night or your day or your early morning, wherever you are. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Save this link if you haven't decided, because it's going to go out to people. If I haven't filled the 50 by tomorrow morning, I'm going to mail this out. I'm going to put up a private replay. It won't be put on YouTube. It's only going to go to my list, because I know I had a ton of people that registered for this, and I know it's just impossible for everybody to make it live. But if I filled all 50 spots, I don't need to post the replay. So if you're on here still, save the link, talk it over with whoever you need to, figure it out. And if there's still, I'm going to check after this, and if there's still 50, I'm going to put it up. I'm going to keep it up. And then overnight, I just don't know. I could end up selling 100 of these things that I just have to refund 50 people, but it is what it is. So anyway, thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate it. And I really, really hope to have you in the Founders Club, and really just truly want to like Larry said, be our own mastermind. I'd love to meet up with everybody a couple times a year if we could, or even just once a year locally. Just brainstorm, talk about what you've learned, what's working, ideas for the future, and just see what other cool stuff we can do. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day or night, wherever you are, and we'll talk soon.